Hello, everybody. Corey here. I'm going to be going over the ULTY numbers and estimates and stuff for the month of May. I almost said March and then April. Made it to May. Anyway, I cannot believe that it is halfway through May. I don't know, it's going by and I'm missing it all. Anyway, just a reminder that I am not a qualified licensed investment or financial advisor. All I'm doing is gathering data, presenting it to you for you to make your own decisions and opinions. YieldMax ETFs are extremely risky. They are income ETFs and not growth ETFs. You have the risk here that's located on their website and fully defined there for you to see. I'm trying to see. Okay, here we go. So, in case you're new to this, here. So the first, obviously, we have our declaration date to the day before our declaration date. And in this case, when y'all watch this, it'll be today, I guess. And technically today because it's 1 o'clock in the morning. But this will be the last trading day before declaration. So they will declare tomorrow, which is Tuesday. So anyway, these are the three pay periods so far that we've had. I can zoom out a little bit more here. And I have, the other stuff down here. Obviously, we haven't got there yet, so we're right here. But the first one was only 10 days, so if y'all looked at it, they paid, $1.06.50. But it was only for 10 days of trading, and then, of course, that's what the rest of these are. So that's what our days column is. And then, of course, now, the open and close might not necessarily be, or open may not be spot on, but like if I did the open for this day, I think it's more or less than this one, and I didn't want their price jumps like that. So this is the open here and the close, and then this is just made to equal that each time. So we're not, double counting some of our numbers. But anyway, so we have an open and close there for each pay period, and then the difference. So in this case, you can see that the ULTY stock price has gone down significantly so far. Of course, we have the pay periods up there, and then we have the sum at the bottom here, which is $5.02. And then also, so the sum, we have the 53 total trading days so far, and then we opened at $20.42, and we're currently at $15.40. So the stock price has dropped $5.02. And then you see here our outstanding shares. This first 10 days we only had 800,000. And then the second pay period, we were up to 3.5 million, and now we're up to 5.9 million. And honestly, this 5.9 million, it just jumped there the last few days. It's significant. And now that I think about that, I've been spending too much time on YieldMax, and I don't even know why I'm over here creating new things. Well, not YieldMax, but YMag and YMax. But I don't know why I'm creating new things. I'm just creating more work for myself, like I always seem to do, because I'm like, oh, I want to do this, and I want to show that, and then I just start building more stuff, and here I am 2.5 hours later, just now getting to the video. But I haven't been copying over our outstanding shares because I used to do the summary tab, the other summary tab. This is summary 2, and then there's summary 1 where it had, all the outstanding shares and net assets and how we traded every day. And then I don't know if people really cared to watch it anymore. I know up front people wanted to watch stuff, and nobody has said anything about it, so I have just basically stopped showing it. But I can see May 1st we were at 4.4 million. And the last one I copied was this last one at 5.9 million. So in the last, 10 or so trading days, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, the last 7 trading days, we've gone up 1.5 million in outstanding shares. But I think those are just the last couple of days. But anyway, if we go over here, you can see the distribution and the yield for those. Now, that first yield, I just did that based on it being 10 days, being a half a month of trade. So it's not like the true number. In fact, I think the announcement did not even have, yeah, it's in the YieldMax, or it's in the YMax and YMag one, where I have all of the screenshots of each announcement. But anyway, so I just wanted to let you know about that yield, though. Yeah, if I go back and look, I'm looking at it on my computer, they didn't have the distribution rate or the 30-day SEC yield. All they had was the distribution amount. So, anyway, the other one, obviously, 130%, that was there. And then let's just go through our data over here. So we have our all trades, and then we have our premium, all trades for the short calls, meaning our net short call trades here in column J. And then in column K here, we have the premium short call only. So this is just the, the premium that we received. And then, which, it's thought that that's what we would get, but it's not 100%. There's other factors and stuff that Zega and them take into account. And then they have all the synthetic trades here in the stocks. T3 divided by G3. Oh, that's because during the first period we did not have stocks. That's why. And then our total trades. All those together. And then, of course, the NAV there at the end. But then I have all the numbers here. And I was looking at something. Now, I said this a week or two ago, and I still haven't done it. But this right here, this stock number is not right. When I went back and researched it, and I think I added it here in the workbook, I just haven't gone through and updated it. Yeah, because I was like, I couldn't find it before. But I found that when they closed out all the stocks, and yeah, here's all my notes where I had been researching. When they closed out all the stocks to go back to synthetic positions, well, they weren't all on the trades. So, like, if they had the stock and they sold it, they got money for the stock. So that should be counted against the negative 8 million. The problem is it didn't happen on all of them. So just an example here. So like this is Hood. They had 81,800 shares. And then they had 13,300 shares on the 25th. But here, Hood on April 1 holdings, meaning it was on there, but then it was missing on the April 2nd holdings, but it was also not on the trades. So then what I'm going to do, I just still haven't done this because I just have so many things to do and it wasn't a priority. I want to go back and estimate what the sale would have been just using the closing price because I have no clue, but use the closing price on that day, and then I can adjust, or I can just add some dummy lines into my all trades to adjust that negative 8 million. And you see we have that here on several of these. And then I have, like I said, I have notes on all of them. Actually, it looks like I already did. So like here, I did Hood, and then their total amount there that they had. And then I went and pulled the stock price and put it in here and did calculations. I guess I just didn't do it on those last two. I didn't look up the prices, which doesn't make sense because I could have done a quick formula here. So I'm not sure why I didn't finish this. But that's what that is. Or that's what's going on there, and that's why I have that in red. But like I said, these are the actual prices. When this one over here, I have them per share, or, per ULTY price share. And then, so, let's go through this, because I know everybody gets confused on this. And when they first held the stuff, which is, right before they opened, they had the stocks. And then on that first day, finish off my coffee. And then on that first day, they sold the stocks and got it and did synthetic positions. That was the one day that I'm missing all trade zone. I never asked Jay for it or anything like that, or yeah, I don't know. But anyway, that was like the first day, and I don't even know that I was fully tracking, Oh yeah, I was fully tracking it. Actually, I was tracking it before it came out. But anyway, so they had the stock, then they opened, then they had synthetic. And then Jay had mentioned, in talks, I think when I called him, when we were on a call one day or something, I don't know. Either that or an email. I'm pretty sure it was when we talked. He was telling me how, they prefer to hold the stocks. So that was, their plan was to get to holding stocks. Then what they did, they started doing it. They did a few at a time. I think they did like Coney and Misty, some of the big ones. I can't remember exactly. But I think that's accurate in NVIDIA. But they held some of them, and then like on one day, then they finally went all in on all stocks and got rid of all the synthetics. And then, I wish I had it pulled up in front of me. And then not too long after that, they, yeah, I'm looking. It looks like the majority of these they bought around March 25th. And then, then they held all the stocks. And then on April 1st, they sold all the stocks and went to synthetic positions again. And if I remember correctly, that's the day that we had major issues. I'm pretty sure that was the day. Yeah. So they did that, and then I had sent Jay an email because, I guess I was so worried about the holdings that's how I didn't notice that we didn't have all the trades for all the stocks and everything, but the holdings was almost blank. Like I'm looking at it, it had four, I can't count. It had 5 short calls in there, and that's it. So if you tried, and I don't know if y'all remember this, but, I'd send him the email, and he said, yeah, he looked at it, and he was like, okay, there's issues with this. Well, I didn't know at the time, and he also told me in that same email, I believe it was, he said that the reason that they had to go back to the synthetics was because of the Custodian that they had, and they were making some changes. So they had to go back to synthetic because of that. But then I didn't know because, the holdings wasn't showing properly. I didn't know that meant that they had to work it out with the Custodian and do all that stuff before the stock could even trade. So this one was actually down for like a half a day on the April 2nd. It wasn't able to be traded until they fixed the holdings. So anyway, that's when they went back to synthetics. So they didn't even hold those stocks but like a week. And then they went to synthetics, and then this past week, they went back to holding stocks again. And I think it was on a Monday, because I remember on Friday, thinking that they were staging their stuff. So that would have been May 3rd. I'm just looking at my spreadsheet on my computer real quick. Yeah, so then May 3rd, they sold all of the, or they closed out all of the synthetic positions. Is that it? No, hold on. They didn't. They closed out all their short calls. Even the ones that weren't going to expire yet. It was sort of weird. And then, of course, some of the synthetics that went with those. But at the end of the day, on that Friday, all they held were some synthetic positions, and not really a lot. They actually closed out of quite a bit of the tickers. It looks like they only had 12, and they've been averaging about 20. So that seemed extremely odd. They had massive amounts of cash. It looks like they had, 18.5 million in the money market, and then they had over 50 million in cash. So then they turned around, and then on May 6th, on that Monday, that's when they closed out of all the synthetics again. So a little bit over a month, and then got back into the stocks. So, and I'm going to say it looks like they probably have changed custodians at this point. And I say that because I want to throw the computer now every night doing these since last week, because when I go to the trades that they post, and let me look at the most recent ones just to make sure it's still the same. I don't know, sometimes I complain about things and then it's like the next day, voila, it's fixed. They change what they were doing or whatever. But no, so on the last trades that were done, they're using the CUSIP as the ticker now versus the actual ticker. So I'm assuming that whoever they're using as their custodian now, that maybe that's what they're requesting, which is a pain for me because I don't know what ticker that goes to. So now I'm having to go research, look in all these Google whatever. If y'all know a better way to do this, I tried to look for Google Finance to see if there was a way for me to bring in, to look that up, but I couldn't find a way. I searched and searched and searched. But anyway, so in the end, I had to copy and paste, and I have to look them up each time they make a trade to figure out what it is. But I don't know, I'd love it if somebody could give me a formula that's not going to make me have to purchase and add on and stuff. I already did that with something because somebody asked for something, and then I never finished it, and I don't even know if they watch anymore, and nobody seemed to care, so I didn't do it. But anyway, so that's where we've been sort of historically going back and forth. Now that we're back, another thing I wanted to do is go back and research these and look, because we did have major swings several times, and I wanted to go back and look on those days that we did have major swings and stuff, what was going on. Did we have stocks? Did we have the whatever? It's just, again, that's another project that I haven't been able to do. So that's the history here of, how these have done, how they've gone back and forth. And my guess is now they're set the way they want these set up, meaning they're with the custodian that they want. They're, holding the actual stocks and then doing those short calls, but we will see. So anyway, that was, just to give you the background and history, because I know that people have been confused on what's happening, because 1 minute it's one thing and the next minute it's another thing, which is also another thing, because, retire on dividends, mentioned it earlier. I did put it on his post just in case somebody's watching, but the way, if y'all, watch the single stock ETFs, they do their trades on Thursdays and Fridays most of the time to roll them to the next week or whatever they need to do, right? So they start doing that then. Well, for ULTY, it's different. They don't do their trades for the week until Monday. So when you watch my videos for the single stock tickers, which is getting longer because we keep adding more tickers to it, because now we have the short, we have crash on there. But it's those videos are longer on Friday, and then ULTY's videos are longer theirs are Thursday and Friday, and then ULTY's are longer on Mondays, sometimes Tuesdays, but they've been not doing as many. But it's mainly been on Mondays because that's when they do their trades for the week. So that's how that works. And I'm sorry for all of those that already know this. We just have so many new people, So I just want to make sure everybody knows what's going on there. We don't really have to go through this. This is where I've been making comments. So that's another thing. I have the dollar amounts over there. But like I said already, there's errors in this stuff sometimes, and we don't get to see it, right? The end results when they fix stuff or whatever else. So like this first pay period, I was missing the very first day of trades. And then the next one, I never saw the GigaCloud. It was never closed out, so I was missing that on the trades. And then we had a large issue, if you remember that, for 3 or 4 days with Root and iPoint and all these messed up trades. So, yeah, so I just was trying to make notes there of a lot of the issues that I had seen. So, these amounts aren't, 100%. These are right here because of the issues I've noted, on top of the fact that there's things that I probably don't know about that there were errors with. So the data is only as good as the data that I've received from their website, right? So anyway, for those of you that are new, I hope you've liked me sort of going through this and the history. Those of you that have been here, I apologize. But anyway, so looking here, we had 20 days as pay period. Of course, it says we've done 100% of the days, only because it's already May 13th, but we haven't actually had trading today. So we do have, the one more day. Declaration date will be tomorrow on Tuesday. So then going down here, so when we've looked at, of course, I haven't done the video and the results from the estimates from the last one, but from for the single stock ETFs in April, though, when we did the estimates for the single stock ETFs, when we looked at, based on IV or the last distribution, or actually looking at how much premium they brought in for the short calls, or maybe all the net trades for the short calls, in the end, at least for the month of April, the majority of them were based off of, were closer to the last distribution or the IV. Unfortunately, in this case, we have different stocks every single week. Now, one time I did go back and well, if I did the, IV for this week for this one of what they were trying to get, and did that calculation and stuff, for all of those, for all the weeks. But in the end, it still didn't get close to that distribution. I don't know. Maybe I should try it again for the next one. But I'm going to be honest with you. I'm having problems, balancing YouTube now. I'm spending way too much time, 20 to 30 hours a week, doing these spreadsheets and trying to do all these videos. So I've got to, start doing a little bit better management for my house. But so I might not be able to do as many projects that I'd love to do. But anyway, but with that said, here, we don't really have those IVs. Those things haven't worked. So the only thing I can look at is the last distribution. Of course, here, we don't have a lot of history. So what I have done here is did a calculation just based on the yield from last month, which was 103%. Again, that first one up there is, just taking the distribution and multiplying it times 2 to make it a whole month, but if we use the 103%, we would be looking at about $1.33. Now, if we look at, and I should take this short call off. I only put that there because some people are very passionate about the fact that that's how it's calculated. So I've just left it. But, our short call net trades were 25 cents, or the estimate, because we don't have all of the data and some has been missing. And then we have the premium only, the short call, which that's a pretty decent number, $1.13. You look at the last two, that's very possible, right? So, and then below here would be the percentages, if you were looking at that. So if we did sort of like the single stock and you wanted to look at a range, this could be a range, or the up to the $1.33 or something, right? Or, $1.13 to $1.33. But anyway, so that's just there, the range based on the net of the short call trades and the short call premiums. And then note here, but this is not how it is calculated, right? So Jay has said, he has told me that this is proprietary information, right? So they're not going to tell us 100% how it's done. And then all the other factors because, they can still make it whatever number they want, regardless of calculations. And then, of course, note here that these numbers go up and down based on trades and the outstanding shares, right? So we have, in this case, which it just dawned on me, in this case, this is ULTY. They get their premium and do their, their trades and stuff on Monday, which is today, right? So they're going to bring in a lot of money and stuff today on those. And that would be, or should be, part of the calculation for this month. So actually, this, I didn't think about it, but this 113 here will be more. And so then that actually changes what I have written down below now that I think about that. And here, I don't give my opinion. I really hate just giving an opinion of a number and throwing something out there, because that's all it is. It's somebody just throwing something out there. And that's what this was down here on the bottom. I really hate it. But because this one, there's not a lot to go by, and people really want that, then I've done it last month. So now, like I said, this here I have at the bottom, I say $1, right? If it was me and I was going to do it, I would say $1, only because you've already done $1 and $1.41. And I'm not saying, this stock price, and we hadn't even gone through this because I didn't go all the way over, but, oh no, I did change it. I forgot to rearrange the entire spreadsheet. So look how much. We've lost $5 in 53 trading days. I don't even know. So March, April, so 2.5 months, we've lost $5. We've lost 25% of this fund. So I feel like, right, there shouldn't be a distribution, but you got to give a distribution. That's the whole point of people buying these funds. If they're buying these just so they can get income every month, and they're trying to get these that have a high yield to get their certain threshold of income, then that's what they're going to do. That's what these funds are for YieldMax. And I'm not saying it's great. I'm not saying you should do this. I'm just trying to explain, how these, more about them. I'm not even saying you should invest in this. This is me to give you the information, right? I give you the information, and then you take that with your own research and other information that you find, and you decide whether you think this is a good fund or not, or whether you want to invest in it, okay? But, sorry, I'm getting off on a tangent there. But anyway, if it was me, I would say $1 because of the past two, and I feel like anything under $1 could cause panic with some of the people, because they got this because it's supposed to be high yield, right? It's supposed to be better than the single stock ETFs. It's not shown that yet, but so I'm saying I think it has to be more than $1. I think it should be $1, just to be over that dollar amount, but not take too much out of the thing. However, the next one right here is, I think, what YieldMax / Zega Financial would do, right? So I put $1. I put a range here from $1 to $1.13. However, I almost think I want to put $1.33 there. I know this is based off of that, but at the same time, they're going to get more premium and stuff tomorrow. And this would get us over 100%, and it's still over the dollar. So I think I'm going to change this. And I'm only choosing 1.33 because it's up there above. I'm not, there's no calculation here to say, I think this is how much money they're going to make on premiums tomorrow. I have no clue. And I'm not even going to try. I just know that it would make this number go up. And again, these numbers are not 100% accurate because we've have missing trades and everything else. But this is what I'm going to go with here. I personally would do $1. Of course, that gets you under 100%. It's only 78%. But Zega, they could do $1, but maybe they'll do up to $1.33. I don't know. Again, this is just guessing and throwing stuff out there, really, down here at the bottom. The top are calculations, right? The 133 is calculated off of last month's yield. The 25 cents and the $1.13, that's based on the trade information that we have. So I really, even though I did at the bottom my opinion of stuff, I'm using the information above, plus my thought that they should pay at least $1. So anyway, again, hopefully, I know this video is longer than most of you wanted, but we needed to go over this sheet and so I do apologize, because I know that what we've been doing the last few months, and a lot of you like tracking it every day up until it's actually declared. I just haven't been, like I said, good this past week with being able to juggle everything. Last weekend, I had 2 daughters graduating from college in Tennessee, and I had to take off of work, and we did that, and I did family time. So stuff didn't get done, and this past week, I just could not get everything done. I was so tired. I am so tired, and I couldn't even do some of the daily videos at night, and they got done in the morning. So I apologize that I've slacked this past week. I'm sorry also that this is getting still so late for the weekend, but in the end, I was like, I have to get stuff done around the house. So I've been doing errands and working outside in the yard and everything else. But anyway, I hope you are happy with this. But don't hate me if it's nowhere near these, because then you won't be happy. But it's just for fun, right? We're just guessing. We're just throwing some numbers out there. And were we close? Were we not? Doesn't matter. Who cares? But it gives you just a little bit more history and knowledge of these, because with them being brand new, it's a little bit harder. But anyway, it's for fun. And hopefully y'all enjoy it. Maybe let me know in the comments what y'all think on y'all's distributions. I know last month I did a challenge for the single stock YieldMax. I thought it was fun. Some of the, people that entered in it, they thought it was fun. But then when I, talked about it this month, nobody wanted to do a contest, on it. So I didn't get any comments about anybody wanting to do them, or that I saw, so we didn't do it. But I think it's sort of fun, trying to get everybody involved and looking at it and thinking about it, right? Because, usually you just watch somebody's video, or it's in the background, or you're listening to it somewhere, but you're not really listening. Sometimes I have that problem, because my mind's going 100 miles an hour, and all these thoughts and all these things I'm thinking in my mind, and I'm not paying attention to the actual video. So it's different when I know Tara Slayer, he had said that he enjoyed getting down and actually in the weeds and looking at it and looking at all the numbers and doing his own educated guess when he did them last month. So, but anyway, y'all let me know in the comments what y'all think it'll be, and then we'll see, right? We'll see tomorrow morning, and we'll see who is the closest. Again, just for fun. But anyway, I will talk with y'all later. Thanks for hanging out with me. Please don't hate me for this long video. I love you guys. Bye.